Hello, good morning. Welcome to Joy News Desk. Coming up this morning, Parliament to consider 3 key revenue bills government says is crucial to Ghana's quest for an IMF bailout. Also this morning, Fair Wages and Salaries Commission announces public servants can choose to cooperate with its nationwide payroll audit to crack down on fraudulent payments. More on the exercise, which commences in April. And in our Ghana Man series, we'll tell you about the pond that is considered as sacred for all Wala royals, where the overlord of the Wala traditional area cannot set foot. We are live from our studios in Kokomlemle. We're on DTT because we're free to air on DSTV channel 421 and GoTV channel 144. Please stay for details. Parliament will today consider 3 revenue mobilization bills which went to the House as part of the 2023 budget. Weeks or months after the budget was approved, these bills have remained outstanding because of the difference between the caucuses in Parliament. Kweku Asante is Parliamentary Affairs correspondent.
Parliament has cleared almost everything off its schedule for Thursday to allow it more time to deal with these outstanding bills. These bills are the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the Excise Duty Amendment Bill, and the Growth and Sustainability Amendment Bill. If passed, these bills are expected to rake in about 4 billion cedis annually. President Akufo-Addo, in his message on the State of the Nation, urged Parliament to expedite action.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the House for its support throughout this process, including the passage of key revenue laws. However, a few more of these measures, namely the Income Tax Amendment Bill, the Excise Duty and Excise Tax Stamp Amendment Bills, as well as the Growth and Sustainability Levy Bill, are outstanding, which need the urgent attention of the House and passage to complete the prior actions. This will put us in readiness for our presentation to the Fund Board and, more importantly, bolster our domestic revenue mobilization efforts.
But the minority say they still have outstanding issues which must be cleared.
So it was part of the 2023 budget presented by the finance minister. So I know we are going to deal with it, but we have some reservations. The way we are looking at the economic environment that we find ourselves, the hardship that people are complaining about, inflation of 52%. So on top of all these, if we want to introduce additional taxes or increase the bandwidth, people are going to pay more, and it's going to affect the disposable income of the individual. So these are the matters we are looking at. Is it the right time to impose taxes on the people? But they are looking at the IMF deal, so that they can rake in the 3 billion facility. But we can't eat your cake and so have it. So let's also think about the ordinary person on the street. If we impose this additional tax, the tax burden will be heavy on them.
Leadership on the minority side especially have been tight-lipped as to where the caucus stands on these taxes. But time will reveal it all on the floor of Parliament today. Reporting for Joy News, Kweku Asante.
Let's cross over to Parliament and speak with Parliamentary correspondent Kweku Asante, who is monitoring events for us. Kweku, has debate on these bills started? Kweku? All right. Kweku is not there. We'll try and get him on to speak on the issue. Let's get on to other stories. The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission has announced that public servants can choose to cooperate with its nationwide payroll audit to crack down on fraudulent payments. The Civil and Local Government Staff Association Ghana has challenged the Commission's mandate to carry out such an exercise when there is an institution responsible for the tax. Speaking on Joy News in an interview, Chief Executive of the Commission, Ben Atta, says it is closed with the powers to develop and monitor payments made to public servants.
It becomes very imperative as part of our mandate to make sure that we are able to do this exercise, not as an event. It has to be a continuous process. So we thought that it does not have to rely only on fair wages. We have to do this in collaboration with others. So we're basically asking all the public institutions to take steps to conduct their own payroll to ensure that any disparities or anomalies that we find in their pay structure is expunged. And it's very necessary that those who deserve what they are paid is maintained, and those who do not deserve what they are paid, they are taken out. There are a number of incidents where you realize that an individual ought to be on a certain level, but it is possible that the person is above that level or below. We have had instances where unions and the rest have reported, and even management have reported some disparities to fair wages. Some of them we have tackled, others have bordered on many other issues that we're taking steps to address. So once you're an institution that has developed pay structures, we have sat down, negotiated terms and conditions, we've determined allowances and other benefits. Obviously, the natural thing to do is to go back there and find out if it is being implemented the way originally intended.
Okay. But
and it also helps us with our internal control system, what is working and what is not working.
Flag bearer aspirant of the NDC, John Mahama, says he's committed to a raft of constitutional reviews being proposed by civil society to strengthen Ghana's democracy, whilst pledging his support at a public lecture to launch the fundraising platform for his campaign. The former president said the recent appointments made by President Akufo-Addo at the Electoral Commission has necessitated an amendment of the Constitution to subject nominees to parliamentary approval.
As I indicated in my introduction, I intend to launch an interactive and smart digital retail fundraising platform to help democratize the scope of campaign financing with a view to addressing dependency on a few big donors. There are emerging opportunities for political parties to broaden the base of their funding. These new opportunities are being driven by technology, and in particular, electronic crowdfunding platforms as are being used in developed countries. I've therefore adopted a crowdfunding technology to promote a more transparent and accessible means to raise funds to execute my 2024 campaign. The use of reliable fintech payment systems will push this agenda to promote citizen participation in the financing of political party activities. We do not have to go far in search of such a robust solution, because Ghana has a lot of young, talented fintech entrepreneurs who have invested so much within the digital ecospace and have already created a lot of employment opportunities for several Ghanaians. These fintech entrepreneurs are successfully using their innovations to transform various sectors of the Ghanaian economy, such as financial services, agribusiness, health, education, and many more. Ladies and gentlemen, on the back of all these achievements, we are launching this digitalized retail donation campaign tonight to mobilize small contributions from Ghanaians, both locally and in the diaspora. The platform is transparent and has a dashboard screen that will show all inflows being donated in real time. The dashboard is in turn linked to a collection bank account so that proceeds from all the channels can be received directly and used for the intended purpose. 4 channels will be made available for sending donations. These include a John Mahama campaign mobile money number, a USSD code, an official Zenith Bank account number, and a John Mahama fundraising mobile app. There'll also be a hotline you can call and access, always to make inquiries. You can also email donations@johnmahama.org. I encourage everyone to donate freely, even if you're shy. I must also emphasize that the retail donation platform is subject to the crowdfunding policy issued by the Bank of Ghana in February 2022, and therefore the framework will be managed in line with strict regulatory policy. I therefore have the honor to call on the MC to invite the technical team to demonstrate how willing donors can donate to this campaign using the 4 channels. And on this note, I duly.
Now, funding of political party activities by candidates and parties themselves have been blamed for corrupt acts of most political party appointees when their party is elected into power. On this issue of political party campaign finance, and a former president and flag bearer hopeful said a bill and an independent body must be established to deal with it. I've been joined by anti-graft campaigner Edem Senanu. For more, I'm grateful for your time, Edem. First, what's your take on the current discussion ongoing on political party campaign financing?
Well, first to indicate that this exciting and progressive. Many of us in the governance space have talked about one of the key things with the party finance is you have individuals or corporates that give lump sums to political parties. Then when they get into government, they're then influencing government for particular positions and roles and contracts, and that begins to make the issues of good governance that undermines it. So this is good because it provides for transparency and traceability of who gave how much. In our conceptualization, we have said that the best practice would have been to set a ceiling for individual contributions and corporate contributions. And the intention is that you don't have a situation where a single individual or corporate entity gives so much that they then begin to have expectations of certain returns when people get into government. So that perhaps would be the gap, but to the extent that the former president is saying he thinks we need a bill and a law, this is good because then the discussion is on the front burner.
And if that does happen, I mean, I'm talking about a bill and probably an independent body to deal with this matter. I mean, what should go into that?
Well, I think that and this is why I find it exciting, the use of an IT infrastructure architecture is an excellent way of making sure that you don't have paperwork, lots of individuals across the country doing something that then is difficult to put together and make a cohesive or coherent sense of what transpired. So if the law, the bill law we are talking about, then builds on the back of this experience of their party and say, look, let's do this electronically, it makes it easy for us to be able to tell what goes on. Also, what the emphasis then would be the content. What are you marketing? What are you saying in your manifesto? Because obviously the attraction for why someone will give you his money and not another party would be to the extent that in terms of ideas and innovation, what you have on offer in your manifesto or what is driving your political party campaign is more attractive to A rather than B. So it also provides that opportunity that we move towards an issues-based campaign rather than just the partisan positions.
Edem Senanu, I'm grateful for your time this morning. He's an anti-graft campaigner with the Citizen Coalition Against Corruption. Meanwhile, former mayor of the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Kojo Bonsu, has filed to contest the National Democratic Congress presidential elections. He's promising to rebuild and ensure that the party is in full touch with grassroots if he is elected. Mr. Bonsu wants delegates to unite to recapture power from the governing NPP. Samuel Mbura has more.
Mr. Kojo Bonsu didn't come to the head office of the NDC alone to file his nomination. He came along with his supporters all the way from Kumasi. These are market women. And the reason for they joining Kojo Bonsu in filing his nomination is quite clear. They are saying that Kojo Bonsu has a track record of development. He has helped the people of the Ashanti region, and they think that this is the right time for someone from the Ashanti region to also be giving the nod. Some of them actually think that if Kojo Bonsu is not giving the nod, they will not vote for the NDC in the Ashanti region.
NDC. We
want everyone to know that Kojo Bonsu is competent to lead the NDC. If he is not elected, we will not vote for the NDC in the Ashanti region.
So man, you Kojo Bonsu Ashanti region to NDC. Ya kama we are singing out to say Kojo Bonsu ya be ma sabi obeti ma fa ne ntoma pefra. Ya ja juma ama ya ba no. Ana Kojo Bonsu.
We are market women from Kumasi. And we are here to throw our support behind Kojo Bonsu because he has developed the region. Under his tenure as mayor for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, he built markets for us, and this is the time for us to reward him. So we have been delegated by our market leaders in the Ashanti region to support his filing of nomination.
Kojo Bonsu has filed his nominations after meeting all the requirements, getting endorsements from all the 275 constituencies across the country. He said if he's given the nod, he will ensure that the party is rebranded and gets in touch with the grassroots ahead of the 2024 general elections to secure power.
I am going from bottom up approach so that all the branches will be involved in all that we do. And this would attract a lot of people, and that is the new presentation. I'm going to rebuild and rebrand the party. I'm a branding expert, and everybody knows that. So all I'm going to do is rebuild and rebrand the party for it to be more attractive to people.
So this brings to number 3, the number of contestants that have come to file their nominations. The first one was Ernest Krobia Asante. Second one was John Dramani Mahama. And then the third one is Kojo Bonsu, the former mayor for the Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly in the Ashanti region. So tomorrow we are expecting that the former finance minister, Dr. Kwabena Dufour, also comes to file his nomination. Reporting from the NDC headquarters in Accra, Samuel Mbura.
Away from politics, let's get into our communities. Residents of Wager and motorists who use the Accra Cape Coast Highway are angry about the seeming lack of action by city authorities to immediately stop the perennial flooding of sections of the road. Anytime it rains, parts of the major highway which links Cape Coast, Takoradi and neighboring Côte d'Ivoire become impassable as it is covered with rainwater and sand washed down from the hills into the area. Residents and motorists spend many hours in traffic before getting to a destination. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Heavy rains on the 23rd May last year rendered about a kilometer of the Kaswa-Accra road completely unmotorable. 2 articulated trucks were stuck in the silt dumped on the road. A driver of one of the trucks, Issa Halidu, said he was forced to spend the night in his car.
We tried to move, we couldn't move. That is why all the tanks and the tires, everything is sinking. Yeah. So we don't know how to do unless they help us. They come to our aid. Otherwise, we don't know what to do. Okay. I even get some shovel. You see what we are doing. Yeah. We tried, but
it's just some minutes after slight rainfall here in the Wager municipality. What you can see is rainwater gushing down from upstream from the hills here at Wager. Washes down silt onto the main road, reducing a 3-lane stretch to 1, sometimes 2. Many motorists are complaining about the situation. They want authorities to fix the perennial problem.
It rained for only 15 minutes on Wednesday, but some parts of the road is already flooded with a massive gridlock. I've met a resident, Kingsford Kojufusu. He's very angry about the situation.
Very bad. Very bad. And we are facing a lot of problems. Spiritual traffic. The traffic may see from is a crowd. You guys for say sound give you make them know say we do suffer for this road top. We do suffer. Some block factory 2 days here. Anytime it go rain, then to them go drop them water. Now if I bro, we do suffer. We do suffer for year. It be bad. Every rainfall, even small drop, this road go full. I don't know. This road be government road. Make I ask you.
Yes,
it be government road where government know say this road they here. Yeah. Government people they pass here, then they use the road. Yeah. You know good.
Visibly angry motorists who couldn't step out of their cars to speak to us had something to say to city authorities. Anytime it rains, it gets flooded here. Please get them to fix it for us. A man seated in a commercial vehicle blurted out as the car moved through the flood water on the road. Emmanuel Fori is a taxi driver. He says anytime it rains, drivers are compelled to spend productive hours in traffic on the Weija-Atala stretch. He wants city authorities to fix the challenge.
It causes traffic. Yeah. Whenever it rains excessively, all the high land and the low land at the top, it pushes the soil, so it causes soil erosion. So it makes our work so difficult. I want them to drill a hole, like a gutter, so that the water can flow. To me, you know, it delay my work. Whenever there's excessive traffic, the fuel is always consumed. Yeah, so it makes our work difficult. Yeah.
It's not only motorists who are affected by the flooded road. Some businesses here have lost thousands of Ghana cedis as a result of the situation. Nanama Boy is the manager at the Weija branch of Atala Limited.
It has destroyed some of our tile cement, our main cement, our slate, and a lot of our books sometimes when we're at the downstairs. So it has really destroyed our things. So I want the authorities should come and ask about how the situation will be solved, because I see that this issue is not about a one-person issue. It's a very tough, and I learned it's coming from the top. It rains today that it rains here. Yeah. It's just a little rain. It's like drizzling, not really rains, but it was, all this place was flooded.
A resident, Martin Luther King Agbeve, says a permanent solution is needed since the problem has become perennial.
Big gutter here, this is the big gutter, connected to the West Mall here, then descend to the main entrance, to the traffic lights. And then when it rains like this, the flood is very huge. We talked to the authorities. They said they will do something about it. We are waiting for them so many years. NDC come, nothing. MPP come, nothing. So people are dying. It costs traffic a lot. A lot. People are able to go to work, and the time also to, yeah, it's going. So the road too is spoiling the road, the erosion. So they have to do something.
Until city authorities fix the perennial flooding on the Atala section of the road at Weija, more productive hours will be lost to the congestion that is created anytime it rains. The road is already showing signs of deterioration as a result of the flooding. Maxwell Agbagba for JoyNews.
And in our Ghana Man series, it's a pond considered as a sacred place for all Wala royals. It's a place where the overlord of the Wala traditional area cannot set foot. It is simply called Lom, but has a complex way of signaling and alerting the people of the death of the Wala overlord or senior royals of the Wala traditional area. How? A big sound and a bright star will usually appear in the night and will head towards the pond, which will later usher in sounds of drums heard from the pond. Rafiq Salam has more.
Although it is located outside the one municipality, the Salamana Pond is one of the sacred and revered places for royals of the Wala traditional area. The team decided to take a 40-kilometer trip to Salamana, located in the Wawas district, to learn more about this mysterious pond known by the locals here as Lum, as alluded to by divisional chief of Duse, Nasalafu Jongara Mahama.
When our great-grandfather rode his horse up to this place, he saw it very neutral and very fine. So he decided going forward, that is another place known as Salmane. It's a pond. He got there, his horse drank. After drinking, something pricked him that to come back to his people.
As custom demands, we can't just go straight to the Loom Pond without meeting with the chief, elders and opinion leaders of the Salamana community. After disclosing to them our mission in the community, we were each asked about our ethnic background. We have no qualms about the question because it was deliberate, aimed at freeing us from incurring the wrath of the Loom Pond. The first rule here is that the Loom Pond does not allow visit from members of the Wala royal family. Fortunately, all of us were from different sects of Wa and other parts of the region that has no direct ties with the Wala royal family. We were warned, if we lie about our background, we do so at our own peril. We then set off for the Loom Pond, led by the chief of Salamana, Nabanguna Ibrahim. On arrival at the Loom Pond, he again reiterated that it is a taboo for Wala royals to visit the pond. Even if that royal misses a way around here, he or she has to ask the location of Loom in order not to get himself in trouble, the chief said. Another thing worthy of note is the appearance and movement of stars in the community to the Loom Pond, signaling the person of the Wala overlord or a senior member of the Wala royal family. On many occasions, we saw a big star appeared, move and fell closer to the Loom Pond, and suddenly we hear sounds of the Dogomba drums. When that happens, we know that it is either the Wana or senior member of the royal family that is about to die, he explained. Yarva admitted that he has never seen the drum beaters because it is always in the night. One thing unique about this pond, according to leaders of the community, is that some of the fish that are caught comes in with tribal marks akin to Wala royals. They have tribal marks like the one on the cheeks and arms of Wala royals. I've seen them severally, he revealed. The Loom Pond is equated to the level of the Gura shrine in Wa and considered a sacred place for the Wala royals, and hence no royal dare swears it.
So Salamana is equivalent dangerous like here. When you see a fish, the mud fish coming out of the water, normally it has marks, 3 here, 3 here, telling you that a royal, an elderly royal is going to die. You hear talking drums either early in the morning or in the evening when the sun is setting. So if you hear that sound, indicates that a big royal or an elder is going to die.
From Salamana?
From Salamana, up to date, it still happens. And that is why no royal will ever swear Salamana. Because if you swear it, mind you, you vow not to tell lies again. You vow not to tell lies. So it's more equally important to us, the royals, like Gura, because we all respected the man and we all abide by his rules. We all follow him as one. So it is his legacy we are all enjoying.
Another thing unique about the Loom Pond is the well-cultured vegetative cover around it. We were told that it is a taboo to cut a tree from the area. Old, weak and dead trees are also not allowed to be picked and used as firewood. At the moment, the pond is silted and as a result, is not able to hold much water during the dry season. Community members are urging the government and other benevolent organizations to desilt and expand it for them. Reporting for JoyNews, Rafik Salam, Salamana.
And still on Ghana Month, drums are part of a family of musical instruments that play a vital role in the Ghanaian setting. Made in different sizes and shapes, these drums are put together to produce various indigenous songs ranging from Bobobo, Agbaja, Panlogo, and Adwa, among others. In this month of Ghana, Ghana Month, Fred Kwame Sari takes us on a journey through how these drums are produced with perfection.
Benjamin is one of the numerous drum carvers in the southern district town of Peki in the Volta region. He narrates that the drum making process starts with finding a suitable tree in the forest. Churubua is the most preferred in the locality here because of its durability. The trunk is chopped into preferred sizes and lengths to begin the process. A drum carver needs a set of these special tools to produce perfect drum pieces.
Ta fila do wo do mo po o mo po pelenku afini to ma ba jo ta gbo fila benye master nya me ka fie do ma ya amesia me kenya do ko ya ko po mala em ko wo do le ko je go me e ba ko do strovio fia do strovio ha afi o ho do ho lo ru ki si do fila ta le nyenye fo do so ya.
Today, Benjamin is carving a drum, mostly assembled with other drums in performing bobobo and choral songs, among others. He first takes off the bark at both ends of the wood and then removed some portions of the heart and growth rings, creating a hole in the middle of the wood. The phloem, cambium, and bark in the middle are removed with a machete, carving the wood into a desired shape. The rest of the heartwood and growth rings and portions of the sapwood in the middle of the wood are removed. He continues until he gets the right measurement for his drum.
Tanemi bushala mi afia ole ke na je egomi vivi menye de share ko na tan wo fi ke mi apo na tan wala na nya we do magata eji ko mi onto mi hwe aga eji taka ka vu mi na ofia me na ma vu asata mi ke na ba nye edungongore me nya antipete jaja pete blefe dressing ta roughly la afina nya double boyala azatre jibana azabe peve aropeve pele.
He marks the drums and drills holes for pegs, which are used to control the sound produced by the drum. A gauge is used to draw lines around the drum, after which the service of a chisel is employed to design the drum. He adds dye to make the design visible. This projects the beauty of the drum and makes it attractive. Antelope, goats, sheep, and cow skins are stretched over the drum and tightened through with wooden pegs intertwined to the skin with a rope to form the drum head.
Ayala, elle est very serious. Na le don me langjono de kuola. Won via me le keje. Won be apra hala, apra gane. Many viro because like me on to me nyini mi odadam. Tala apra me. For the ren ton anya ku he ka. Apra me. Pa na do dem apra. Even me play me machine a chair flipper na a makum le godo iha na machine to menyo atenwa prao.
At this point, the drum is painted and allowed to dry. They are then displayed at various selling points along the Peki-Asekuma road when they are finally dried. The bigger the drum, the higher the production cost and selling price. Carvers in the Peki enclave identified lack of capital as a major setback to their business.
O film ka gamali ke na wo sugbo adolia mali fifra over popular avo gamal mi asia mi awe adara yi ha tanami poga mi awo de siere ko fulana mi o minya kwa mi o pete adara yi tanama na va fifra kwa maga gbo be ya do e ko jimo ko mi o mi ajire Kamio mia poga, akpo mia sro, mia pe vioji, mia fufu mia po dada oji. Hia vio minya. Agamano enta monte de school. Yemi kpefu, ya mi achigo yo jamala. Tabana kpere mia wolo. Amen. Baja wori. Ali vuvuvu. Amroji kokoto reka. Wojina sogo kidi kagam. Ale vuvu. Amojina kokoto meve. Sogo kidi kagam. Ihan vuvu. Tali de chare prepasi. Okay, set ali 5,000, 4,005.
The next time you enjoy music made by these beautiful drums, don't forget to compliment Benjamin and his colleagues for doing a great job in protecting and projecting African culture. Fred Kwame Asari, Joy News, Peki.
We're still live on Joy News Dex. We're coming to you live from our studios in Kokomlemle. Let's take a break. When we return, we'll bring you the very latest coming from the world of business. Welcome back to Joy News Desk. Before we go to business, the principal of Secondary Nursing Training College, Alhaji Boache, wants government to focus more on the training of specialized nurses. He says there are inefficiencies in many areas of Ghana's healthcare due to lack of human resources. Mr. Boache was speaking on the sidelines of a stakeholder meeting by the MasterCard Health Collaborative in Kumasi.
Objectives of the MasterCard Health Collaborative are to build and strengthen capacity of healthcare students and professionals to meet growing demand for primary healthcare in the health sector. KNUST is one of the 8 partners of the MasterCard Health Collaborative, with the aim to contribute to all 3 pillars of the health strategy: health employment, health entrepreneurship, and health ecosystems. Pillar Coordinator, Health Entrepreneurship, Professor Wilberforce Owusu-Ansah, stressed the need to create entrepreneurial opportunities in the health sector.
So with this mismatch, we recognize that human capital is really a key thing. So if you are going to achieve the sustainable goals, then it behoves on us to make sure that we are able to address this critical issue when it comes to deficits in terms of human resource. To be able to do that, we set in our journey to address it looking at 4 key objectives. And what are these objectives? We're looking at how do we ensure that we are able to build and strengthen the healthcare system in terms of capacity building, and also making sure that we are equipped to be able to respond to emergencies and all that, including the NCDs and all that. So the first thing we have to do is, in terms of our objectives, is how do we ensure that we are able to build and strengthen the PHC. The second objective was that having been able to identify all these, we also looked at what kind of programs can we offer to our students, and not only students, the healthcare professionals, in such a way that we are able to achieve critical, sustainable healthcare growth and transformation. So in this case, how do you try and bring in some transformational leaders so that we are able to make that march forward easily? The third objective that featured in our plan in terms of really the projects that we are talking about, that's MasterCard Foundation Higher Education Health Collaborative.
The principal of Secondary Nursing Training College, Haji Boache, called on the collaborative and government to focus on specialized nurses.
Averagely, government is training over 25,000 nurses per annum, and out of that, we have less than 2,000 or 3,000 specialized nurses. Even it's about less than 500 specialized nurses per annum, which is woefully inadequate.
Some of the stakeholders spoke with Joy News.
My key
interest was on the health center, which is going to actually help a lot of young people come into health entrepreneurship.
Reporter for JoyNews, Kwesi Deborah.
See you again at 12.